Hey, what's going on, guys? Me, Alberto, back with a new type of video. I guess I'm gonna be doing a little tutorial today. Tell me how you guys like it. It's gonna be for something I used to play a lot. I don't really play anymore, but it's 2024, and a lot of people might be hopping in. Elon is Beast from Simulator. All right, so when you start, you're not gonna have this as your hive. You're gonna come up to one of these empty squares. One of them will be empty, and you're gonna have to press E to claim it. One of these eggs, right? And what you basically do is you just want to drag the egg over to an empty slot that's green, and then you can get your first bee. So after you do that, you're also gonna have a collector in your hand where you can click, and you're gonna get pollen from flowers. So at the top here, you see you get pollen. So basically, that's how you start making honey, which is your money. You're gonna want to come over to the black bear here and claim the quest he has. He should have a quest for you at the start. I don't know, there's a bunch of quests in this game, but basically, he's gonna have a quest for you. So when you get enough honey, you're gonna want to come to the shop over here, which is gonna be how you get upgrades for your gear. So basically, you'll start off with the pouch, scooper. You're gonna want to try to save up for the canister in the back as much as possible. So I'd say from here, you're probably gonna want to get the jar, maybe skip the backpack if you're making a lot, and grab the rake or clippers. These two are probably the best for you. Maybe even the magnet, because they're not too much of a difference for how expensive they are. And then once you do that, you're also gonna be able to get these items here. These are basically it's only gonna be passive, so 10% pollen is really good, but it's gonna be hard for you to get pineapples and moonchimes at the start. So I'd say don't worry about it. It's also quite expensive. This is gonna help you convert your backpack with here, which we'll get into later. Your basic boots are going to help you get movement speed, and you're going to collect while you move, which are very useful. Boots are very useful because you're going to be able to run much quicker, and don't worry about these. These are from a code or whatever. So now let's talk about collection. So like I've told you before, you get pollen and honey by clicking in a field, right? In the field, once you get a certain amount of honey and pollen, right? Once your bag fills up or whatever, I'm not going to fill my bag because I don't have a boost right now, but once you fill up your bag, you're going to have to come back to your hive. Once you're at your hive, you're going to have to come up here and press E to make your bees make honey, and then that's how you convert your pollen into honey, just in case you were wondering and did not know. So after you complete a few quests, you'll get different types of eggs. There are silver, gold, and diamond eggs, which will each give you different ones. There's also mythic eggs, star eggs, and gifted versions of the silver, gold, diamond, and mythic egg. So after you get some quests done here, you can also grab the mother bear quest, or you can just grab this right away, because I think these you are given the resources to do first, like 2 or 3. These ones are very important because it teaches you how to level up your bees, and it teaches you about favorite treats, which we'll go into a little bit of depth, but you're gonna have to learn that yourself, basically. So from the dispenser next to Mother Bear there, you can buy treats, right? It's quite expensive to buy a bunch of treats, and you see how my bees are all like 15, 16, whatever. Those are the level of the bees. So when you drag treats over them, you can feed them, and feeding them a treat will give them some bond. Bond is basically the XP, which you can click on the bee to see, and that's how much XP they need. For example, most bees have a favorite food. So like, I think Tadpole bee, you can see if it's your favorite food, because when you hover over it, it's going to say until gifted, which means there's a chance that the bee becomes gifted, which are these golden glowing ones, would provide additional bonuses. The additional bonuses for the bee's passive ability, when you have one of them, can be seen in the bee catalog here. When you click on the bee or whatever, gifted hive bonus times 1.2 capacity. This bonus only applies once. So if you have 5 gifted buoyant bees, you are not going to have 2 times capacity. It's still just going to be 1.2 times, but some bees also have gifted abilities, which I should have stayed on the buoyant bee. I believe the bee has one right here, which basically are just better abilities and help you. Every gifted bee will have an ability called Inspire, which gives you 2 times the pollen collection for 3 seconds, and it can stack infinitely. So you can go crazy with that if you're really lucky. But yeah, after that, let's talk about another bear. Okay, so we're gonna stay in the first area for now. So if you come over here, see brown bear, but be careful here. There's gonna be enemies. Your bees will fight them, but if you walk off the field, they'll stop following you. Right here, brown bear, he'll give you quests, and after you do his main story quest, there'll be infinite repeatable quests, but you won't worry about that because as a new player, those are really hard and they start off pretty slow. So basically, there's one more thing left that you can do in the starting area, which is very important as you progress the quest and start to get to the next area. The ticket shop. Ticket shop here, you can get event bees. These bees, you can only have one of each one in your hive. You can have all of them at once, but you can only have one of each one in your hive at a time. So you can only have one puppy, one photon, one tabby, one festive, one crimson, one cobalt, now. The Cup Buddy, don't worry about the Cup Buddy. That's something you get really far in the game, but like kind of as a little bonus help. It's not really too important. If you play the game a lot and you do get 500, I'd recommend getting Tabby Bee because this is effectively the best bee in the game. It has a really good ability called Scratch that gives you a lot of pollen, and if it's gifted, it gives you even more. Literally just gets upgraded when it's gifted. And as you can see here in the top left, Tabby Love, this is an ability token that the Tabby Bee will drop, and each one will increase its gather amount, its conversion, and its pollen from Scratch by 1% up to 1,000, which is why it's so good. Next one is probably Photon Bee. As a newer player without a gifted Photon Bee, I will say your bag will fill up almost immediately. This is in my opinion though. After you get either 8 different bee types or 5 bees in general, you can complete the 5 bees up, which has a spider. Spider, I'd say recommend killing if you can, if your bees are high enough level, because it can give you tickets and some other good stuff. I think the max ticket drop is like 25.50, but you also get Panda Bear. Panda Bear gives you quests that has to do with fighting because he's the battle points holder. For 10 bee zone, you get a new shop. This is where you start getting some pretty good upgrades, but these are expensive, right? So here's where I'm going to recommend you start using some codes. So if you search up Beastworm Simulator Codes Wiki, you can find the fandom page and you can go and look at currently valid codes. Every single one of those codes are really good to help you just honestly get a lot of honey, a lot of codes. But what I won't recommend is using every code at the same time. I repeat, do not use every code at the same time, because you can use one that just give you items, but if it says something field boost, it says blue flower field, whatever, you're going to want to use that code if you're going to farm in that field, because the boosts in the field make you collect a lot more pollen and are a huge help to grinding quickly. If you aren't trying to grind quickly and you just want to use all the codes, you can, but it will help a lot if you do use the codes effectively. Here, I honestly don't think I'd say the Hasty Guard and the Looker Guard, because critical power and critical chance are really good, and then Hasty for a bit more speed so you can grab your bee abilities, really giving you that much speed. Belt Bag, I would recommend crafting, and Hiking Booth I would recommend crafting. Obviously, you want to work to the best collector you can, and if you can save up easily to the next one and just like go over it, you can if you want, but obviously if you buy one it's gonna be quicker, but if you save up just as quick, then it's more effective, I guess, right? Don't buy these magic beans, not worth it. And finally, science fair. The most important part, I don't know why I saved them for last, but it's most important. Anyway, so science fair, you want to do his quest because you get items, obviously, and you get a bunch of eggs. But he also gives you a lot of convert rate, which is very good because I know by this point, you're probably like, oh my goodness, why does it take so long for me to empty my bag? And you gotta do science fair quests to do that part. But once you do that, and you're gonna be much quicker at converting your bag, and the game will be less painful. Okay, once you get to the 15B zone, just like the spider, I recommend killing the werewolf every time you can. I recommend killing everything you can as much as you can, but the werewolf and the spider are, in my opinion, the most important. Once you're here, this is where you can start getting some end game stuff, I would say, but also not, because it's going to be a bit, you need to get badges. You need to get, I think you need to get 15 badges to like level 2 or 3. And here are the badges in the little badge tab. They give you passive bonuses, which you can claim fields. The flowers, the bigger the flower, the more flower there are, is better. So like this flower right here is better than the 3. And then it has another stage above it where it has a full flower coming out of it, or like a full, like, it's like fully pollinated, and it will have a flower sticking out of it, and it will actually give you even more pollen, so it's like a little multiplier in the field if you really care. But in the shop you can do a memory match, which is just you get items if you match them, so I'm not going to show you. You can do blending, which is how you get materials very easily. You can craft the materials, takes however much of each material, and it takes 5 minutes per craft. You can end it once it's at like 1, and you'll get 1 and your resources back if you don't want to wait, or if you don't want that material anymore. So inside of the Ace shop where you get the sprinklers, you're also going to be able to get some high tier guards and a belt that comes before the petal items, but after the porcelain items at the top. You're also going to get your first bead type mask, which will provide you a passive ability and will give you some pretty nice passives in general. And here's what is important. Over here, you can get these sprinklers, but you require a certain amount of badges for each one. Sprinklers basically regrow flowers for you. So you see all these flowers when I harvest them, they start going down and down and down until it hits the floor, and then there's nothing left for me to collect. There's a little bit, like you see how it's the floor there. The sprinklers will actually help the field regrow and actually let you harvest more flowers. Like the final sprinkler is enough to actually, I believe, can ask someone if they can put one down for you. Some people might get annoyed though. If they get annoyed, just back off, I guess, and yeah, just chill. Another thing you can do up here is the honeybee. Basically, you do a quest and then he gives you more convert rate for like half an hour. So once you get to this point, actually, 15 bees, you can also do player requests, which basically this gives you more energy on your bees. 25 bee zone. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. There's a booster here for you if you have 20 white bees discovered, I believe, or 20 bees in general. You can use it and it'll boost any white field randomly besides coconut field. When you come in here, there'll be 2 harvesting tools. I think the rake's better than the staff. I don't think the staff's even worth it. I don't think the staff's even worth it. But I'd say maybe get the rake and use the rake until you get the one that we're gonna show you. So you're gonna want all of these. You're gonna want the beekeeper boots, you're gonna want the beekeeper's mats, you're gonna want the Mondo belt bag, you want the dipper, you're gonna want the portal hive. The glider is useful for a little bit of movement if you're slow, and hive slots. So at this point, you're probably maxed out on hive slots. I believe you'd start with 25. You can buy one and the price goes up by a lot every time you buy one. That's what you can do. You can buy tickets. It's not really worth it to buy tickets, but if you really want it, you can. The price goes up a lot. There is an end, but it's like quadrillions of price, I think. But yeah, this guy, he gives you quests that give you a bunch of stuff, and the final quest gives you a star treat, which lets you gift any one of your bees. And hint, hint, nudge, nudge, event bees can't actually get gifted from treats. I know, I didn't say that when I talked about treats, but we're gonna say it for this part because I don't think I'm gonna be gifting bees at level 1 or have an event bee. But star treats are the way to gift your event bees because they cost 1,000 tickets in this ticket shop and they can gift any bee. So you can do that and get your event bees gifted. All right, from here, we're gonna go 35 bee zone with the windy bee on top. So we're gonna have Spirit Bear. Her quests are how you get Dipper is probably the best first item to get, but it's pretty hard to get any of them. So once you get to 10 quests, there's 30 quests, you'll get a Spirit Petal, you can get the Dipper, then you can get the belt, you can buy the Planter if you're rich, but unless you don't want the belt or the Dipper, you just want to go for the Windy Bee. You come up here and every time you donate Cloud Vials, I don't know if I have any, so once you donate enough Cloud Vials, you'll get a dialogue every time, but once you donate enough, you can hear Windy Bee's buzz, you call it to the bee but it doesn't respond, that means it didn't come. If it says you like call it the bee and you're successful, that means you get the Windy Bee. This is where the ant challenge is if you're wondering how many bees needed. Panda Bear's gonna ask you to go here eventually in this class. Yeah, but when you come here, you can get 2,500 gumdrops to actually spawn in the gummy bee and get it. This is how you get the gummy bee. Alright guys, so that's gonna conclude the tutorial for beginners in Bee Swarm, and that's basically what you're gonna want to do. If there's anything I forgot to mention, please let me know and I will catch you all in the next one.